All right, 49er fans, we have a update for you. We got some roster moves, injury updates, and a new starter on the San Francisco 49ers offensive line. We're going to get into that, but first, let's talk about the new roster move that the 49ers have made. That was signing Robert Beal Jr. to the practice squad. Obviously, he was on the active roster and had been on the active roster for, I think, heading into his third season. He was a fifth-round draft pick out of Georgia, recently waived before this game against the Saints. He cleared waivers, and the San Francisco 49ers bring him back to the practice squad. So that is your roster move. But Kyle Shanahan met with the media, and he had this to say about the injuries. Now, it does appear that the injury to Ben Bartch is going to be a significant one, as he is dealing with an ankle sprain, and I believe it is more specifically a high ankle sprain. He was seen after the game with a boot on already. So there, these high ankle sprains could last anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. So don't expect Ben Bartch to be back in the starting lineup anytime soon. And it's just unfortunate for Ben. He had a really golden opportunity in front of him this season, and he's just been banged up starting in training camp, and now he's going to miss time this season. Just an unfortunate situation with him, but that means there's a new starting spot opening up, and we will talk about what that means here in a second. But we do have some other things to address. Kyle Juszczyk is in the concussion protocol, and Jauan Jennings with an ankle is day to day, according to Kyle Shanahan. Spencer Burford is dealing with a knee injury. He's day to day, and Saran Neal is in the concussion protocol. So, interesting here because obviously Jauan Jennings is popped up on the injury report for not a shoulder injury, but an ankle injury. And then, of course, Kyle Juszczyk dealing with a concussion along with Saran Neal. The interesting one, too, here is Spencer Burford popping up on the injury report as he did not play any actual offensive snaps, from my understanding, only special teams, and not many at that either. So somewhere in that mix, he was injured while on special teams. One thing that I have been noticing, whatever side Matt Hennessy has been on the kickoff or the field goal or PAT unit, they are getting him on the ground every single time. At least that's what it feels like. And so I don't know if he's getting bowled over and landing on someone's knee. Something very similar happened to Dominic Pooney versus the Raiders, if you don't recall, where that also occurred on a field goal unit. So I think they got to figure something out there to ensure no other injuries keep occurring. But what this means is Connor Colby is now your starting left guard, the seventh round rookie out of Iowa, who had a solid training camp in preseason, who elevated himself into the backup duty. He actually saw some starting reps in preseason due to the injuries that we just talked about. And now, with Ben Bartch being out, he now steps into the starting role. And he did really, really well against the Saints. When you look at the Saints stat lines, he had 19 true pass set reps, gave up 0 quarterback hurries, 0 pressure, 0 sacks, and he had a 73 in change pass blocking grade according to PFF. So he did pretty well. Kyle Shanahan said this about Connor Colby. Says, I loved how he's been here so far. I thought he came in that game early. I think it was late first quarter, but I thought he did a hell of a job. He made some plays, and he'll get better the more he plays, but he was ready for the moment and definitely helped us with that win. So, Connor Colby already stepping into starting territory as a rookie seventh rounder. Um, I mean, from what I saw in the game, he played well. I always like to hold my opinions and observations of the 49ers offensive line until I break down the tape. I will be getting into the tape later this afternoon, so I will be specifically watching Connor Colby, see how he performed, see how he played, and see if the hype matches up. I know a lot of people are excited about the emergence of Connor Colby. Anytime you can get a late round draft pick who can develop into a starter, that's always a good situation for the team. And also, what the implications are is Drew Moss, who has been a kind of inactive. He's been a guy who's not been active the last 2 weeks on game day, might be active now because he will kind of slide into that Ben Bartch role. It'll be interesting to see how the 49ers handle Ben Bartch's injury. Do they put him on injured reserve with the opportunity to return? They only have so many return designations. I believe Kevin Givens, they've already used one on him. I believe they're only allotted two. I'm not positive on that, but it'll be fascinating if that's a situation that the 49 how they handle that, if they just kind of stash him on the roster. And again, they can make Ben Bartch inactive technically, and again, just make Drew Moss active. So it accomplishes basically the same thing. I would halfway assume that's how they're going to manage it. But the San Francisco 49ers got a new starting left guard. Really curious to know how you guys feel about this, all the injuries. And I think when we look at the injuries right now, nothing too crazy or earth shattering here. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this all progresses in the end. But I think early returns right now seem to indicate that the 49ers are going to be doing okay with a rookie starting at left guard. And only time will tell if it really is truly something that works for the San Francisco 49ers, or if they will be um, kind of feeling it a little bit. But again, with Ben Bartch just being injured and being injured a lot, I mean, it's given a lot of runway for guys like Connor Colby. So he's gotten the reps. He got the reps in training camp. He got the reps in preseason. He's worked with the ones, before the season started. So he's prepared for this moment. And so when he got put into the mix versus the Saints, he played pretty well. So it'll be fascinating to see what the tape tells and what the tape bears out. And I'll be doing a breakdown here about that coming up. But let me know what you guys are thinking about this in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.